What's your biggest non-sexual fantasy? Move to Ireland and live on one of those gorgeous country landscape, away from society. Sometimes, I imagine being able to get my own cozy apartment and do things like raising cats, cooking and sewing. I could try new things like gardening as well. Just a quiet, peaceful life without stress or worries. Mine is in a similar vein. Quiet, peaceful life. Even the sewing, cooking and critters is on point for me. I take my fantasy a little further. I live in the country in a small house with a lot of natural light and with no one around, and I can hear birds in the morning and silence instead of cars. Here to the coziest of fantasies. Same. Move away from the big city I grew up in and have a simple life. I'd have like 10 dogs, a garden that I'm consistently trying to keep alive, annoying my soul with all my DIY projects, reading books outside on a hammock, getting baked and baking desserts. The worst thing I have to deal with is who is doing the dishes that night and folding laundry. That's the life. Man. I just want a hug. I don't care about being mega rich, but to live comfortably, financially, in a cozy house with lots of animals and a job I love, is a dream of mine. Same. Financial freedom is my ultimate goal in life. Whatever the number is, I want to earn enough money so that I can wake up every morning and do whatever the F I want to do without answering to anyone. I've always wanted to have a popular webcomic. I can make funny jokes, although not consistently, and I can draw to a reasonable standard, but I don't think I'm quite good enough to make stuff people would actually want to read. Still, if I lose too many shifts from the virus outbreak, maybe I'll give it a crack and see what happens. Go for it. No webcomic is 100% singers. Everyone has jokes that fall flat, and drawing ability doesn't matter much as long as your art is consistent. XKCD has gotten by with stick figures for years now. To run and dance naked under the sprinklers at a big broccoli farm. They said non-sexual. I've been writing a book on and off for about 6 years now. My fantasy is to finish it and have it become a Hunger Games style hit with young adults, then become a movie. I would be heavily involved in the movie and John Bernthal would play one of my main characters, and then we'd become friends. When I'm feeling extra silly, I imagine winning Best Adapted Screenplay at the Oscars and crying in front of millions of people watching while I tell them that regular people can make magic too. When I'm in the shower, I like to imagine what it would be like to be famous and interviewed by Oprah. Oprah would ask if I always thought I would be famous, and I would answer that I would stand in my shower thinking, if I was ever famous I would be interviewed by Oprah. I get stuck in this thought loop until the water turns cold. It's 40 minutes later, and I haven't scrubbed myself yet. To be loved. Writing and publishing a book. Grandiose, but maybe one day. Don't give up. In high school, my friend used to tell me all about his series of books he wanted to write one day. We used to talk about it all the time. 10 years passed, and one day I had a text from him asking for my address. He said he was gonna send me a Christmas present. And there came his first book. We lost touch after high school and drifted apart, but he is a very sweet person. He never forgot it. I started crying when I saw the book. He wrote a little note thanking me for believing in him. So it is sure not impossible. Just believe in it. I can travel back in time to when I was in like 2nd grade and try my life over again knowing what I know now. It always starts with me telling my parents to buy stock in Apple lol. This is just all a horrible dream and I will eventually wake up in a utopia. Escapism. It's all a dream, but it gets worse when you wake up. 55 years. Not bad, Morty. I'm in New York City. I eat a slice of pizza from every pizza shop in the 5 boroughs. Every one. All in a single day. From this I have no ill effects and feel perfectly fine the next day, which is steak day. This is where I eat a steak from every steak restaurant in New York City. From this I have no ill effects and I'm ready to wake up to badge all day. This guy gets it. What's after badge all day? Go to sleep and wake up refreshed. Live in my own house/apartment, which may not be huge, but is not cramped. My job may not be my dream job, but it allows me to live relatively comfortably. I have friends who care about me. To love and be loved. Edit. I'm really surprised that so many people also dream about this really attainable life. Seems kinda sad that way, but I'm glad we all have something to live for. I fantasize about these because I'm young, too young to date, going to college this year, haven't gotten a job, haven't moved out, etc. I do have friends who care about me and I want them to still be there in the future. I hope all of you find peace someday. And to those who have attained this already, thank you so much for giving me hope. I've got everything here except a lover, nice bed and plenty of time to sleep, my own apartment, a job I enjoy that pays me well above what the average American makes, a few close friends who I can rely on. I still find myself yearning for something more, and I often think about dropping it all to try and start over somewhere else, thinking that would make me happier. Then I remember that happiness doesn't come from what we have. It comes from within. Deciding to be proud of ourselves and who we are. Deciding that we are worth fighting for and then acting on it. You could achieve every single thing you mentioned and still be miserable. I suggest you take some baby steps to improve yourself. Maybe find a healthy diet that you enjoy, so it's not a chore to follow it. Maybe start working out in a way you enjoy, hiking, swimming, sports, etc. Maybe look for ways to volunteer your time and help the community. All I'm trying to say is that you are worth it. When you start believing that and acting on it, your goals will come naturally. You need to decide to be happy first though. I'd absolutely love to be a magical warrior with mystical companions and familiars, a dragon, and living in a magical world with magical creatures. Biggest fantasy since 3rd grade. Lol. Edit. I didn't expect this to blow up. Thank you all for all the replies. I'm sorry I couldn't upvote them all, though I certainly tried. Yes, I do play D&D. This is my fantasy as well. I used to sit in my room and stare out my window wishing a portal would open and my favorite characters from my favorite books would jump out of the portal and tell me that they needed my help. I'd pack the essentials, then jump through the portal with them. That led me to their world and I'd never look back. I'm 32 now, and I still fantasize about that sometimes. That I have a small shelter that exists outside of time that I can summon and go into, and inside of it is a bedroom with bed, bookshelf, kitchen with all the amenities, bathroom etc. And since it's outside of time I can spend as much time as I want inside, and no time passes in the real world. So when I'm really tired I think about how nice it would be to just pop off and sleep a few hours. This would be so awesome. Thanks for giving me a fantasy that I didn't even knew I needed. Winning the lottery, then building an average sized or slightly above average home, but customized to how I want it, not like 65 bedrooms and 37 bathrooms, 3 to 4 bedrooms, a library, project room, kitchen with professional quality equipment. My girlfriend is a trained pastry chef, but a medical condition made working in the field difficult, so she had to stop. She wants a nice kitchen for when she wants to play. If we hired a chef I don't want to embarrass them with the mess stove from Home Depot. Doesn't have to be the most expensive available, but I want quality equipment, green/solar powered, able to charge my Tesla Model 3. Traveling the world some, every so often, not like non-stop. Sometimes I have this fantasy of packing up my things, getting in my car, and driving somewhere else. and starting my life over. I did that. It was worth it. I barely keep in touch with my family because they are toxic and hateful. I got married, went back to school, got a really stable job. Totally worth it. It was a struggle at first, but I'm happy with my progress and new life. Edit. I was lucky in my situation. It isn't that grand of a story. I met someone I played games with online and moved from Arizona to Louisiana. He let me live with him. His mom, best human being in the world, did her best to hook me up with work. I ended up finding my own job in retail. Got married to above mentioned man. As I worked in retail, I went to a community college. Got great grades. Had to stop for a bit to work. Worked at a horse racing track. Went back to school with help from a debate team scholarship. Graduated. Started working for the state.